Hello, and welcome back to the show. My name is Serena and I went from Switzerland to New York for 2 days during a global pandemic, and this is that vlog, day 2. The day started off great because I woke up at like 5 a.m. which is 11 o'clock Swiss time, and I did that because I had to choose my electives, which did not go great because I got not the ones that I wanted, but you know, it's life. I'm fine. I went back for a short slumber, and after that we left to get some breakfast. No, wait. First, we went to Wall Street. That's what we did first.
It's day 2 and our last day. And look at the weather. We're going to the Wall Street, and after that we'll have brunch. And maybe we'll go to the Empire State Building.
Now, we'll be honest, Wall Street was a bit underwhelming. Probably because there was construction work going on. We took the subway to meet up with Paul for breakfast. But first, we had to make a stop at this Indian grocery store so my mom could buy spices. I walked by the rice shelf, and there's like a million different types of rice.
These are all different kinds of rice. And I was not aware that there were so many. Bamboo rice, I've never heard of that. Sri Lankan white kiwi samba rice. Chad pearl rice. Himalaya red rice.
So I actually Googled that, and there is more than 40,000 different types of rices. So make sure to know them all, kids. You don't want to be a racist. Okay, yeah, I'll stop. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, I had a pancake for breakfast, which was lovely. After that, we made our way to Grand Central Terminal, which, by the way, many people call it Central Station, but it's not actually called that. It's called Grand Central Terminal. Terminal. It is a very beautiful ceiling, and of course, Paul also showed us the so-called whispering gallery, where you can basically stand in one corner and the other person can stand in the corner across from you, and then you can like say something in their corner and the sound will like travel to the other corner, and it sounds like the person is standing next to you, you know. Does that make sense?
We are testing the connection. Hello, Toby. Answered. Over. I can also hear you nice and clearly. Over. This was so fun.
And then we went to the library, which also had a very beautiful ceiling. I'm a sucker for ceilings. So after exploring the library, we just kind of like walked around a bit, had a look at New York and the streets.
No matter how high your building is, it is higher.
Oh yeah, and we had to buy golf shoes for my dad. My dad has like really big feet, so he can't buy shoes in his size in Switzerland. So my mom would always buy his shoes in America, but now she's retiring end of the year. I just don't know what my dad will do after that.
Where we go?
Okay, let's go up there.
There. That's where we're going.
So luckily, Paul's friend actually works in the Empire State Building. So he was able to get a free pass for 4 people and got us right up on top on the 102nd floor for free. Afterwards, we went down to the 86th floor, which is where most of the people would go, since this is included in the normal ticket price. It was super windy on the 86th floor because that was outside. And let me show you a clip to demonstrate. By the way, the dragon you hear in the background, that's my boyfriend. Talking in slow-mo. Now, since we had a very short night, I might have woken up my mom and Toby with my alarm clock at 5 a.m. Oopsies. We were all kind of tired, so my mom actually had to get back to the hotel to get ready for the flight back. But we went to a bar to kind of like sit down a bit, get some drink, something to eat, write some cards. So yes, you might get a card. And if not, that just means I don't like you. The rooftop bar was very pretty. We sat in this igloo, which had a stove in it. So nice. And the view was very beautiful because we were like in the middle of Manhattan.
We have to leave. We have to leave. Paul is saying bye now. Bye.
Nice to be with you all again.
Yeah. Maybe sometime
Thank you for
soon
coming
again.
to New York.
It was a pleasure.
Ciao.
So what's the time now? It's almost 6. And we will go to the airport now and then we'll fly back home. And that was it with our trip to New York. Our 2 days trip. How did you like it?
Since we arrived with the flight crew, we did not have to wait too long until we could board our flight. And Toby actually got to sit in business class with me this time. But you know, we can really enjoy it because it was only a 6.5-hour flight back and both of us were really tired, so we basically fell asleep right away. Now, as I mentioned, my mom is going to retire end of the year, so this was kind of like my last opportunity to fly with her while she's doing her job. That, and because coincidentally Paul was still in New Jersey, were the main reasons for me to go on a 2-day trip to New York during this pandemic. Otherwise, I really wouldn't recommend it. Just because it's not very sustainable to travel somewhere for only 2 days. You don't really get to see a lot of New York because New York is so huge, especially Manhattan. Additionally, I think it's very risky to travel generally during a global pandemic, but especially traveling abroad can be more riskier because if you catch COVID, there is no way you get back home within like 2 weeks. So that would suck. We had a great time though. I really enjoyed it. And now I want to quickly talk about the expenses as I promised before. So I spent about $20 in cash, which was because I had some cash left. So I just took it with me. Most of it was for tips and homeless person. I spent 100 Swiss francs for my flight, which is about $100 something. Then we spent 39 Swiss francs for the negative COVID test to get to the US. That's about $42. I spent 5 Swiss francs at the airport for a Starbucks, which is $5 and 4 cents. I mean, the exchange rate kind of like changes a bit, but you know, you get the drill. It's like more or less the same. Then we had to pay $14 for the ESTA form, which is like the visa you need to fill out to get to the US. $14 and 75 cents to get from Mattawa to New York City. We put $22 on the subway card and we split the cost. Plus there's an additional dollar for the card itself. So it was $11.50 for me, $190 for the PCR test, $12 and 21 cents for a snack, $5 and 40 cents for another Starbucks. The minute I'm in New York, I get so basic. I become so basic. What's that? Is that a New York fever or what? $42.61 for breakfast. That's so much because Toby and I paid for all of us, and we split the costs. And then $18 and 20 cents for drinks at the rooftop bar. Now, we didn't pay anything for accommodation because we stayed with Paul the first night and with my mom in my mom's hotel room the second night. And I did not pay for my flight back because my mom kind of like gifted that to me. So I only had to pay for the flight there. And all in all, it's $476 and 6 cents. I also want to mention, we went to the Empire State Building, which usually I think costs about $75 to go up there. We were just super lucky that we knew somebody who knew somebody. So yeah, that's just me bragging about how cheap it was for me to go to New York. Here's the thing. Obviously, this is only my situation. Obviously, you cannot fly for free if you don't know somebody who works for an airline, or, you know, get a really, really low discount. And accommodation usually is also not free. So that was really an advantage we had. But I still wanted to share my costs or my budget, just because I think it's always very interesting to see how much people spend. And I mean, I didn't pay for the flight and the accommodation, and I still managed to pay like $500 for 2 days. So that's kind of like a lot. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys stay safe, don't catch COVID. Oh, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Also comment something, please. Something nice, preferably. I hope you guys are having a nice Christmas, a nice New Year. If that's already gone, I hope you're having a great January. All right. It was very nice to meet ya. Goodbye.
We have landed.